Okay, Dopesick. Dopesick is a Disney Plus TV miniseries. It's a adaptation of the book of the same name written by Beth Macy, and it tells the true story of the American opioid crisis through the late 1990s through to the early 2000s. But before going any further, I just want to say that in most of my reviews, I like to keep them light-hearted and a bit funny with a few jokes along the way. But being today, I'm reviewing a show that retells the story of true events that real people went through, which were tragic. I'm not going to do that on this one, so I just don't think it's appropriate. But the show was created by Danny Strong, is 8 episodes long, and each episode is about an hour or so long. But Strong has done a fantastic job on this. It is an excellent program. It's an excellent series. I thoroughly recommend you to watch this. And I think the best way to describe it would be a courtroom drama without the courtroom, if that makes sense, or very little of the courtroom. And it documents the release of the opium-based pain relief drug called OxyContin, and how through lies and greed it took and destroyed the lives of countless Americans. And as well as documenting the horrific effect the drug had on people, it also follows the 2 attorneys who were fighting to get this drug withdrawn and to bring those accountable to justice. But the obstacles they face and the lack of support and assistance they get from organisations which are supposed to regulate this sort of thing, it is truly shocking. And the show really exposes the 2 sides of the coin when it comes to big business pharmaceuticals and the common people who they lie to in order to make money. I mean, OxyContin was produced by a company called Purdue Pharma, which was owned by the Sackler family. And if you don't know who they are or were, I think it's important to stress that although this show paints them as hungry, money-hungry, evil bastards, and whilst this is true when it comes to OxyContin, they did also do some good. I mean, I'm not saying this forgives them or anything, but for example, they're considered as early pioneers in medication techniques, and they were one of the first to fight for racial integration in blood banks. I mean, they also donated various pieces of artwork to museums and that. I mean, and I'm sure they profited from these actions in more ways than one, but at least then it wasn't blood money, whereas with OxyContin, it was. I mean, when you watch the show, you'll be shocked at all the lies and manipulation and bribery that goes on in big business pharmaceuticals, all the time, just to push this drug out, which they know is addictive, which they know is dangerous, which they know is destroying lives. I mean, it's revolting. I mean, they're doing this all just to add to their already bulging bank accounts. I mean, the lies they instruct their their sales reps to spill to GPs, the complete disregard for the lives they're destroying. The list goes on and on. I mean, these evil bastards don't give a monkeys as long as the money keeps rolling in. I mean, but the character development through the show is very impressive, and but with most series, you see development of the characters and how they grow and develop as the show progresses. But with some cases in this, it works the opposite way. So they go from being okay to deteriorating. And it's heartbreaking as you watch these people's lives fall apart. At the start of the series, they're fit, healthy, happy individuals. But by the end of it, they're the complete opposite. They're the shadows, of their former selves, and all through a series of events that started through taking a small painkiller for something as so insignificant as a bit of shoulder or back pain. But when it comes to the cast, it is very, very impressive. It's a stellar cast featuring Michael Keaton, Peter Sarsgaard, Will Poulter, Rosario Dawson, and Caitlin Dever. I mean, that's just to name a few. I mean, everyone in this acts really, really well. It's hard to pick out a few to mention, but so they all act really, really well. And they do create characters that you truly warm to and feel for, and some you'll absolutely hate. But for me, Keaton and Dever's performances were the standouts. They are phenomenal. There's not one time they're on the screen where you don't truly believe they are going through what their character is going through. And And speaking of the characters, while most of the characters in the series are based on actual factual people, some are fictional, but their stories are amalgamations of real peoples who were affected by the crisis. So, even though this character didn't exist, someone actually did go through what they're going through on the show. And the way the series progresses, the timeline keeps flickering from backwards and forwards, and it sounds confusing, but I mean, the way it's filmed and directed, it's been done in such a way that makes it really, really simple to follow. I mean, as I said, Strong's done a fantastic job on this. It's an easy program to watch. I mean, it does contain strong language, sexual references, and naturally it has lots of references towards drug addiction, drug misuse. So it's not for children. But as I said, it's really, really well directed, really, really well acted. It flows beautifully. I mean, it'll bring you to tears at some points, and at others, you'll be clutching your fists in anger. So yeah, I highly recommend this. It's something you really, really should watch if you haven't already. So I'm going to give it a big 4 out of 5 Stay Puffs. And as I always said, this is just my opinion. Please watch it yourself. Make up your own minds. If you do watch it, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this review, please put a like on it. And don't forget to subscribe and check out my other reviews. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.